2, 1. Welcome back, guys.
What up, guys? Welcome back to Soulfools.
Welcome back, you guys. I'm Michael Padilla.
CYRUS Martinez.
And this is our guest.
Are you going to introduce me? Or
In his own home.
In my own home? In my own equipment?
Dude, don't bang on the tables.
Can you guys introduce me?
Oh, this is...
It's Nadeem Hamidy.
This is the most awkward introduction we had.
This is Nadeem Hamidy. Last time you saw us, maybe, was from his podcast.
R.I.P.
Which he hasn't done in a while, which is fine. I don't know what he's doing.
I'm just working on some stuff right now, but it'll come back.
Can you give the viewers a taste of what you're doing? Or what you're hoping to plan or in the future? Current goals?
So I just moved into this apartment, so I'm just getting everything ready so I can start filming in here, setting up my podcast. I just found out that I might be moving again, so I'm just trying to figure things out, but I'm doing a lot more outside of my own work, so I'm still having fun. I'm still like creating and doing stuff like that. I'm just waiting for the time that I could kind of like settle and actually create stuff that will help me get the stuff out of my head that I want to do.
What's in your head?
As you say that.
A brain. I mean, my main goals right now.
More creativity.
Yeah, I just want to like do a lot more cooking videos, and then I also want to finish up a script and hopefully start selling scripts so I can like get into like Hollywood and start making movies.
Yeah.
That's like the end game.
For now, for what I'm thinking,
plug.
that's the end game. What I really want to do is just make movies. But everything changes, so I just want to get a head start and like start now so I can see if that's like the actual goal I want to do. Things change, like I said, so I just want to see how it is and if I actually get it done instead of just thinking about it the whole time.
Yeah, that's always the tough part.
Yeah,
of, finding that line in between getting it done.
Dope podcast, guys.
I think we should get weird.
Okay.
You're
not gonna ask me about
so
what
we're gonna do. What we're gonna do now is ask you every question in Pig Latin.
Okay.
So, do you even know how to speak Pig Latin? No.
Yeah. Uye, ich be.
Fuck you, babe.
Okay.
All right. So, are we getting weird? Do you want to get weird?
Sure.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Well, I mean, how weird is it? Just fucking ask me the question you want to ask.
Okay.
Never mind. We're not getting weird no more.
I don't know how you feel about, spiritual possessions, but I guess we can begin. All right. So we will get weird a little later, I think. What I want to know.
What was the point of bringing that up then?
I want to know if you're down to get weird later.
We just want to see how mad you can get right now.
Can't get me hyped.
And you passed it.
Okay. What the fuck did you bring me into my own house for to do this podcast?
You can fucking leave. That's what you can do. This is what I want to add. I'm not afraid to say it. How do you deal without seeing your family? He lives in LA. His family lives where?
San Francisco.
Which isn't that far.
So cool. It's crazy. I mean, I don't know if a lot of you guys have dealt with this, but there's a thing called FaceTime. So I just push a few buttons and then my mom's face pops up.
You'll never
how many
want to
times?
see her
No. Yeah, of course I miss seeing my family and like seeing that because it's kind of weird being in LA. It's like I'm living a different life out here, and then my family's not really a part of that life, even though I try to like keep them updated and stuff like that. They're not physically here and doing the same stuff that I'm doing. We live two different lives now, so it's kind of like you're living a double life. Or when people have like a second family or something like that, I kind of get what they mean because nobody here is connected to anyone back home, so it's kind of weird in that sense, and I forget which life to live sometimes. But I try to keep up to date with them. It's just weird going back home, so I don't like it as much, so I'd rather see them when they come out here.
So where's home then?
Like Newark, California.
I mean in general to you.
I feel like LA's home.
Really?
Yeah, LA's been home for the past 5 years, and it's somewhere that I see myself living forever.
Wow.
Like other than like if I want to like check out New York or something like that, but it's home for now. And the Bay Area has changed so much since I've left, so it's a little different, and going back there is a lot weirder and also unfamiliar to me.
In what way?
Just like my whole city's changed. Like it's way busier than it is now. Like there's so many more buildings. Stuff that I grew up that has been there for 18 years are now gone because it's new buildings, and stuff that I would see that would never have changed. Other things like our mall was recently just redesigned for like $200 million, so it's like one of the best malls in California now. coming from that used to be like the shittiest mall that nobody really wanted to go to. Other things like that, like Facebook moving in or like getting bigger, so that they basically took over my whole city, and like now it's all new development and it's just Facebook people that live there. And yeah, it just feels a little different. Than the only reason why I also don't like going, or the main reason why I don't like going back home sometimes, is I get that feeling of why I wanted to leave in the first place. Of like, it wasn't the breeding grounds for creativity or people that they just wanted to party and stuff like that. Which,
really, over there?
Yeah, or at least the people
I feel
I
like
knew.
that's how it is here sometimes.
Well, I think it's whatever you like kind of grow up around, you know, because LA is like the place to be if you want to like be creative and stuff. Like, you go on the street and everyone's like with a camera taking pictures and stuff like that. In any part of LA, you know, the only times you really see that is really San Francisco. The other parts of it is just people living normal lives, just getting a regular job and settling down, which kind of scares me.
Settling down,
yeah, without like doing the stuff that you wanted to do, you know.
Not pursuing your dreams, basically.
Yeah, why'd you look at him?
I have no idea.
It's subconscious.
Why'd you look at me now? Fuck you.
Yo, it's funny you say that. That's interesting. Now he proceeds to text someone.
And yeah.
So then you can say you're overall pretty well, like, you know, your family's cool. They know you're cool up here, so that's okay enough for you.
Well, I try to go see them as much as I can, but sometimes that gets hard with work and like trying to how you say, like, balance like my life out here, because I kind of get distracted sometimes with the stuff that I want to do. Or when I go up home, I just think about work all the time and I kind of get anxiety. But it's been better now. I'm able to like travel a little bit more and like not really think about it, because I'm like doing less and like doing more stuff for my own stuff. I just get how you say, like, anxiety when I think of doing stuff for other people. You know,
What do you mean?
like working, or like I have to like
work wise,
like making
because
sure
to meet deadlines and stuff,
and do all that stuff, and then me being away or like missing a meeting feels like I'm taking away from the team. But then it's like I have to think about like everyone does that, you know. And I wouldn't want them to feel that way, but when I do it, when I go away, I kind of feel like that's how it is. And with this line of work, when you're off of work, that doesn't mean you're never really off of work. So I'll be back home and constantly getting messages like, oh, like, make sure to get this done. And it's never like, I can never really step away from work. And it's kind of, in a sense, even more because I am gone. So it's more stuff that they have to get done. So it's like, I just went to a different place to be working more and not really see the family.
Do you not find that relaxed and kind of like secure in a sense, to where, you know, there's always something to do?
Say it again?
You don't find that like good? Do you find that good? Like, I feel like it kind of feels secure just to know, all right, no matter where I go, I still have stuff to do.
No, I mean, it's like when I'm supposed to be on vacation, I keep getting bombarded with work. So it's like a give and draw. Like, of course, I love the stuff that I do, and I get to live this lifestyle that I can travel wherever I want and still work and do everything. But sometimes you want to just work, you know. Or sorry, just relax.
I was like, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sometimes I just want to
So then,
do drugs.
just smoke crack. Do you feel like since you started, when did you start doing this? Like, when did you left? Let's say you left 5 years ago then.
5 years ago.
So then you were...
Or like, it's almost going to be 5 years, and I pretty much started once I moved down here.
Do you feel like you prepped yourself for that, or do you feel like your parents like helped raise you?
Oh yeah, even with them too, your parents. Like, how did you like?
Or did like
were you able to
finding good people to look up to down here as well too?
Like I secured my spot with some good people down here that definitely helped me a lot and taught me a lot. My thing with like the parents, and of course they love me and everything, but they wanted to make sure that I went to school, did all that stuff. So kind of convincing them for me to drop out and move to LA, which is kind of unheard of in my family, or like even immediate family, like people close around, to do that sort of thing and like kind of go away from like the nest. That's not a thing that you do, especially in like a Middle Eastern culture, especially to pursue something that's not education based. Just like go and want to like work at a gym and film and do all that stuff. So it took a long time of like convincing them and showing my mom and dad that like I will be secure out here. And I kind of like lied to them in a sense where like, okay, I'm gonna go work and I'm gonna go find a schooling and I'm gonna sign up for school. Yeah, I had to tell them just to like kind of like
get them off your back,
get them off my back. But once I started making money, showing them like, because they're also they don't know about this whole lifestyle, so it's not their fault. They just want what was best for me. So it's kind of like, in a sense, like I did do some schooling on my own in terms of my career, though, like going on to seminars and taking classes like that. But not like the actual going to college and the traditional route that they thought that would be the path of success for me. So I basically had to kind of, I hate saying it, but lie to them until I could have showed them what I'm actually doing. Because for them, they're just, oh, you're just going to go work at a gym and have fun. But they don't know that I'm doing this stuff to set up my success out here, you know? Because like I have lots of family that went to school that also didn't do much. And like nowadays, like people get out of college and can't find work. And the stuff that you actually would want to do, they rather take people that have experience over people that have a degree, you know? So it took a while, but I was just persistent, and I knew that I wouldn't be happy if I didn't do the thing I wanted to do. So I basically had to choose my own life over pleasing someone else, which in turn pleased them because I'm able to provide for them. I'm able to shed light, help out whenever I can, and show them. It was just, they just didn't know this lifestyle. So I was very lucky that it worked out for me, and that they support me now. So
would you say for sure that you're following your dreams? Like what you're trying to pursue is you're following your dreams essentially, or what you want to do. This is what you want to do, right? 100%.
Yeah.
What you're moving towards. Right. What, and for the viewers watching, like what kind of advice would you give to separate? Because there's so many people that want to do something, and either they do it and they fail, or they don't do it and they still fail. What separates someone that is following that goal, that their personal goal? What separates them from achieving it or completely fucking it all up? Like, what is the difference? What worked for you? Like, what is the advice that's like?
I think it just comes down to one thing, and that's something that I still battle with, and it's kind of like, oh, why I'm not doing this stuff right now. It's just laziness, you know. A lot of people are just lazy, and it's easy to be lazy and easy to make excuses for yourself. And I have that good balance of being lazy and also not. So it's at times like I was able to get this far, but honestly, if I put in the work, I could have been way further in my career. I could have probably been making movies and stuff like that now, but I probably would have hated the whole process because it would have been just work. So I'm like riding that fine balance, but I should be more productive than I am right now. So just so I keep looking at my phone. But
no, you get
fine, dude.
Work. That's like one of the draws where like if they text something important, like I immediately have to like respond or something like that, and they're like blowing it up like crazy right now. But yeah, it just I think it just comes down to laziness, and actually if you say you want something, do it, and that's literally all it comes down to.
You're doing it?
Yes.
Nike.
Yeah. Literally Nike's slogan, just do it, is.
It's like one
That's
of
true.
Yeah,
you really just gotta fucking do it. But I don't understand why a lot of people, it's probably the external pressures of like doing something like that, but like, because people are always like, or people will ask, if I was talking to someone at the gym the other day, and he was just like, or she was just like, oh, like that's so inspiring, like what you guys are doing or whatever, like all the people you work with or whatever in general, the people you surround yourself, oh, it's so cool you guys are doing that. And I was like, oh, why don't you do it if you want to, you want to get into that? Or like, if you really are, you feel inspired, why don't you do what you want to do? And they're just like, no, I don't think I could do that. And I was like, but you just told me that you wanted to do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, some people just don't have it in them. You know, some people, they one surrounding helps a lot. Your own mindset can limit you a lot. Like it's literally like you're the only reason for your own failures. No matter what, like you can't blame your friends, you can't blame anything. But like, say for example, if you want to do something, or if you want to do something, and when you guys like limiting each other, you can't blame the other person on why you couldn't become successful, because you could have done it by yourself. So same thing like that. But it's some people, they don't want it as bad. They were like, oh yeah, it'd be nice to do what I want for a living and have fun and make a lot of money, but they don't want to take the steps to do it. They'd rather be secure and get a normal job, which for me, I feel like a normal job and making money like that is the less secure way.
How so?
Just because I know the steps, and it's like, it's easy for me. Like if I lose everything I have right now and all the connections, I could probably be back up and running within a few days, and like make more money. Like I always tell people, like the stuff I'm doing now, I could be making way more money doing something else that I don't love, but still in the same career. It just, I love the people I'm with. I love the way I'm doing it. I love the way I see it growing. So I'm really happy, and I'd rather be doing this, not making as much money, than continuing on doing it for something else.
Of course. Feel it. And do you feel like branching out into other? Do you feel yourself branching out more now too into different styles?
Yeah, like now it's cool because I've been establishing things, and it's not me necessarily doing a lot of the work. It's me like working with a team and establishing some like businesses.
Do you prefer being a team person? Like, I know sometimes people like I always want to do like to get it done right. I have to do it myself, or
it limits you and it progresses you because you need a team to get some stuff done. But sometimes like working with a team can be hard, in at least the way my mind works. With trying to create ideas, I'd rather do it alone on some certain projects. Like when it's my stuff, it's hard to be open and allow people in because I have a hard time articulating what I want. So then when they say like, oh, adding on, I'm like, oh, it's not exactly, it's a completely different way. But that's my fault for not being able to articulate. So it's easier for me to like say if I'm writing something, I'd rather just do it on my own than adding someone else into it.
Yeah. That's like I feel like it's a pretty safe way to do it as well.
But then it's also dope working with a team and getting stuff done together.
Yeah, and you see different perspectives that you probably wouldn't have thought of until
before working with them.
Yeah,
I feel that. Do you think the world will end in our lifetime?
No, not a lifetime.
Okay, next question. I don't know, I was thinking about that just now. I was looking out your window, and like the clouds have been like really cloudy, and we've been talking about Game of Thrones. I know we wouldn't mention this, but we were talking about Game of Thrones.
A long night.
And for some reason, this reminds me of when, spoiler alert, Daenerys, she does all the dragon stuff. And then I was like, damn, like, what if that happened? I don't know why I was thinking that. I was literally, like...
Is that yours?
I was literally lost in that idea just now. And then I thought, like, what if a fucking meteor just came and just killed us all?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, I was just thinking that. I was like, damn, that kind of sucks. Like, things are finally going good. What if I just lose it all? Sorry.
You'd be dead.
So,
I try not to... I think
culture?
I think of stuff like that sometimes, but I don't let it get to me too much because I'm like... The biggest problem with death for me is like how my parents or friends will react and how sad they'll be. Because for me, you guys don't need to worry because I'll be dead.
Yeah.
If there's a heaven or not, it doesn't matter. If
gone.
Yeah, I'll hopefully be in heaven. Or just there'll be nothing. So I won't be suffering. But so why put that extra suffering? It's just from like missing someone.
I think there's like a verse like that says, "Woe is the living," you know, like talking about death. Like don't weep for the dead, weep for the living.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that's big because a lot of people they don't appreciate what they have, you know, until it's gone. And I'm trying to like live this life to the fullest and not get like my cousin's very big into like what's the meaning of life, you know. But you spend your whole life thinking about that, and you don't actually get to live it while you're here.
Yeah.
So it's whatever, and like that's why I also don't get into like crazy into politics or anything like that because I'm also here to enjoy life, and my way of helping people is obviously like I know when there's stupid politicians and like good politicians and try to like gear people in the right way. But I'd rather be the person that just makes the immediate people around me happy, and that's my like passion in life. Way of changing, making sure people around me are happy and like stuff like that, and giving them like a platform, like say stuff doing like this, and hopefully changing a few of your guys' minds on in how you have an outlook on life. That's more important to me right now than getting too into like these other stuff, whether it be politics or thinking about death or whatever,
or asteroids hitting the earth.
Right.
Yeah. But sometimes I wonder.
I mean,
like,
yeah, it's like I don't know. I feel like that's part of what it means to be human is to think. And sometimes you go overboard with it, but like you gotta balance. You know. Yeah. Have you guys read? Or I was trying to get him to read it. Have you read The Alchemist?
No.
By Paulo Coelho, I think. There's like a thing that talks about like it's like not a proverb, but like a what are those called? Like a psalm or like a story essentially, where you like learn something.
I think it's pretty like good, like an ancient proverb.
Yeah. It was essentially like someone asked someone like, "Oh, what's the like meaning to life or whatever." And so he's like, oh, you have to go to the smartest guy. It's like he lives at the top of the whatever. Like he's a king. So this person goes, and the king is like sitting there on his throne shit. The person's like, oh, like what's the meaning to life? And then he's like, okay, I'm gonna give you the spoon. Okay, take the spoon. Pour it with honey. I'm the richest man on earth. I want you to go around my place, and see everything I have, like my library, everything that I have. And I'm going to pour honey in it. If you come back, like the goal is come back with all the honey still in the spoon. So she was like, or he was like, okay. So he goes around, you know, spends an hour, comes back to the king, and he's like, all right, here, I did it. And he was like, did you see my library? And he was like, no. Did you see my, you know, my 1,000-foot aquarium, blah, blah. And he's like, no. So he's like, all right, go back. I want you to see everything. So he goes back, sees everything, and then the spoon's empty. And then the king's like, you saw everything, right? Yeah. And he's like, dude, this place is amazing, blah, blah, all this stuff. And he's like, well, now there's no honey on the spoon. So it's like, I guess the proverb is you have to have a balance of both. You have to see the world and experience everything, but you also have to you have to keep in mind the goals that you have for yourself, which is to keep the honey on the spoon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like balance in everything you do. Yeah. I feel like I thought that for me that like resonated with me a lot because, dude, life is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
I think this ancient proverb that helps me understand balance was this one dude named Thanos.
Is he like Greek or something?
What actually is Thanos?
He's
a Titan.
He's a Titan.
So yeah, it's
That's tight.
oh shit, it is Greek then, isn't it?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's Tennessee Titans, bro.
Oh yeah, the football team.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it's just like the outlook I always keep. It's like shit's gonna happen, but you'll get over it. You know, like just whatever you can do. Like be happy with the circumstances. Like a lot of things happen bad to me, but I've had a better outlook on other people when the same stuff happened to them. And I knew that there was going to be a future and this wouldn't be forever. So a lot of people, they dwell in that feeling, and that's what it is to be human, to dwell into things and like feel pain. And like if you're going through a breakup and all these certain things, but if it's out of your control, why let it control you even more, you know? And if it is in your control, why do you still let it to affect you, you know? So it's like there's no reason I feel like besides like death or something like that to really dwell, or like someone that you lost. So for me, it's just whatever I can, try to flip the circumstances in my head and keep pushing forward.
I feel like that's difficult at times. Would you say?
It's difficult. It's difficult at times.
Situations.
It's different for the situations. But like if it's work, friends, money, stuff like that, it's you like dwelling in it's not gonna fix it. Taking action and moving forward will. You know, so it's like if you're broke and you're just like you let that affect you, it's not gonna change. If you let yourself be sad and just dwell in your room for that hour, 2 hours, what is that gonna do to your bank account? You know, or you could get up and be like, okay, fuck, I'm broke. I'm gonna go on a run. I'm gonna do something. I'm still gonna work out. I still do stuff that I can do. Now that 2 hours of your life was spent better. And
just fucking do it, right?
Just do it. I mean, like, I sometimes look at my bank account. I'm like, fuck, dude, like, this sucks. You know. Other times I'm like, this is dope. But why let myself always be like, what happened?
No, it's just some worker walking across the roof.
Oh shit!
It's just like, why do people like? I see people so sad and like stuff like that. But like, how often do you guys see me like sad and like mopey around?
Fucking barely, dude.
When was
I've literally known him for like almost 5 years now, and he's like, I haven't seen you at all.
You haven't seen me ever.
Yeah, never really.
You know, because it's like I check myself first. You know, and
who taught you how to do that?
Well, I mean, I think myself, and like in terms of like, I knew I wanted something different, and I seen how people react and take it, but I was just like, what's the point, you know? And sometimes I cry. Some things happen that you can't control, but then in terms of feeling like that forever, it changes scenario. Like for me, like when people like, oh, like when they're feeling bad, go to the gym and stuff. For me, I fucking can't train when I'm like feeling like that, you know? So I change the scenario. Like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go watch a movie right now. Change something, get my mind off of it. Do everything that I can for myself to make it better, because you only have yourself at the end of the day. You know, you only know yourself. You have your inner dialogue and everything. And why waste your time on this planet and just be negative? You know, a lot of people have problems like depression and stuff like that, which is a serious issue where they can't really do that. And there's a lot of people that create depressions for themselves, you know, without the neurological or the
like the predisposition to
the predisposition and like not getting enough I can't think of it, like, was it serotonin or
I think it's serotonin.
So
because there's what's the other one?
There's a lot of people that like to be depressed,
serotonin,
that like to be like the sad boy or like those feelings, and it's good because sometimes I listen to songs and I'm like, I like that feeling, you know. But then some people they dread in it for too long, or they like post on Instagram like nobody hits me up, nobody does this. If I hit you up and you never hit me up, and it's like it's cringy. But then
social media is weird like that too, huh?
it's a lot of it comes from social media nowadays. And for me, it's if
true.
my numbers go down, if anything happen, and they do all the time, I don't care, you know, because for me it's all the game. It's having fun, and I can delete my Instagram right now and be sad, or be
fucking devastated.
Be okay with it. The only sad part would be losing all the pictures because I haven't saved all of them.
Weird, yeah.
And because I already kick it with the people I want to kick it with. You know, if there's other people that I want to kick it with, I would. You know, and I see all my friends, and I don't need to be the one on social media. Yeah, it doesn't bring me work and stuff like that, but like I said, I can change that and make more money doing something else. And I just see how it has an effect on other people. And that was kind of like my way of like learning of like, don't let it affect you. You know, like, okay, like things are going to happen. All these things are going to change, but why let that have an effect on your life? You know, if someone's like, oh, they're not getting enough likes, or they're not, they only see happiness through others.
That's crazy.
Yeah. The people, a lot of people, they see other people in the relationships. They see all the other people in this, but then the next week they're out of a relationship, but they only see the good part because that's what people want to give off. So it's just that balance of being like okay with yourself, you know?
That shit's weird.
What?
Social media?
Yeah.
It's in a hole.
It's one of those like, what's a catch-22? Is that where there's two problems, or like it's bittersweet? Like, is that what it? Well, that's what I look at social media as, like such a. If
right
anything,
term?
it should be a tool. You know, it should be a tool, because it's like, okay, I mean, Instagram, I guess the original way was, or it's the intended purpose is to have a bank of memories, essentially, or like to be able to show other people
connect with friends,
stuff like that. But now it's all a popularity game. It's like honestly it's a measure of worth nowadays, and I'll catch myself doing the same thing, which is like really shitty sometimes. But I guess that's the I don't know, that's how life is. That's fucking weird. I don't know how I feel about it sometimes. Do you ever want to take a break off social media?
Like I've been like, I have fun with it. I post whenever I want, and then other times, like recently, I don't really go on Instagram that much. So it's been good. It's like been a good break. I used to be on it like 24/7 and stuff like that, but now it just naturally just happened where I'm not. But I feel like with a lot of things, I don't ever really feel the need to have to like set limits or take breaks or stuff like that. It just happens with how I need it, and then I also tell myself, yo, like you're using it too much, you know, just like slow down a little bit, and that happens like without me even really thinking about it, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it's just that fix, and like the only reason I feel like people need to go on Instagram is because they have to be updated with other people and what they're doing. Because like I know I didn't post today, so why would I go and check my numbers? You know, like I don't want to.
For them,
that.
that's like real life.
Yeah, for other people, they don't
crazy.
do stuff outside, so they only live through Instagram, and I think that's when it becomes like, who has the better status in society, you know? Because if you have a bigger following, that means you're more important. But and that's what a lot of people think. But it's like it's so untrue. But especially the people our age, I feel like our age is like the first generation that's really getting into it like that. Are the ones that are having the most problems with it, and then like now the people that are younger than us, they're having way crazier problems. Yeah. So it's just like, if we could be the voice of being like, yo, like none of that shit really matters. If Instagram died, like what would happen? If it blew up,
they just think about like how many kids now are committing suicide just through like bullying through like social media at such a younger age.
It's crazy because it's they did a study where a lot of those kids don't suffer from depression. It's just things because
it's like it's
an external force. So that's even scarier because you don't have to be suffering from depression.
And you have no control over that as well.
So it's just like it's hard because it's everyone wants to be accepted, you know, but it's like, especially like the high school age where you have to be popular, you have to be cool and everything. You don't talk to anyone really. Like maybe there's 10 people that you talk to from high school through Instagram or Facebook after high school.
Maybe not even 10.
That's true. Yeah.
Maybe not even 10, you know. Yeah, they're blowing up my phone like crazy.
You can reply if you need to, bro.
Yeah, so you guys continue talking really quick. I need to answer this.
Dude, this is fucking Nadeem. Think you can hear us?
I'm so fucking glad he stopped talking. What's up, man? Well, do you think we've actually talked about social media before, and you talked about it as like a tool?
Yeah, it should be a tool. Just sometimes it gets abused in a way it doesn't. I think like and automatically our like human people, like humans, we just compare. That's like compare. It's all thing is comparison is a thief of joy.
Yeah.
You know, so obviously you're always gonna be someone better out there, better skills, better whatever you do. Like you draw, better athlete, lift more, more cut. Just it's best to like see that as like advice instead of competition. Not even competition, because sometimes you don't even see it as competition. You just put yourself down. Yeah. You're just like, damn, it sucks. Like I suck. You know, like
yeah, because you're always just you're exposed to other people to the point where it's a little too much. Because it's like as a let's say when because we're at that exact age where we were right before any of this shit was even anything, and now we're at the moment where it's peaking or we're reaching the peak. So we're like right in the middle. So we learn a lot of our social cues, how to talk to people, how to receive critiques from people, how to take bullying, for instance, how to do all that stuff in real life. Now we have people younger than us in that generation learning none of that shit, and it's all coming from social media 24/7. Yeah, it's not like for us. Like we went to school and experienced that shit. Went home, chilled, watched cartoons.
We went to school, got trash canned a few times, you know, maybe get your lunch money robbed. Shit happens,
hit
bro.
by a car twice. You know? And then now social media, which everyone is on. As far as on Instagram right now, which everyone is on. So you're having to deal with that without a face-to-face interaction 24/7. So it's like kids don't know how to deal with that shit. And like we're always learning. But they're at that age where they're predisposed to all these situations. Yeah. And they're learning from that. And it's not a face-to-face interaction. Yeah. It's all digital, which is like fucking scary. Because then what happens when we move another 5 years into the future, they move another 5 years into the future, then we have all these other fucking babies like with like Google glasses. Like what the fuck? Like, you know, like they know how to email and shit. And like it's like they won't know what it means to like interact with people at all anymore. Because you see, have you guys been to like restaurants and shit where you see like kids with earphones on with their parents and shit? Crazy. I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
I never
like
had headphones.
Yeah. It's hard though. It's a lot on the parenting and like getting them off that stuff, because when we were growing up, we didn't have access to that thing. So that was kind of unheard of. And when that started happening, it was easier for them to be like, yo, stop that. This is how we live life, you know? Yeah. But now it's
why are they letting it slide now? What do you think?
Well, because think about it too, like the parents, like
they're probably doing
young
it too.
Parents, young ages. And then just
because they're probably
dude, honestly, it's just like a whole generation of neglect. Generations of neglect. You really do suffer from that. You know?
It's like it's easier for your kid to be so ingrained in this when they're doing that throughout, so that seems normal compared to them just running wild, you know. So for some parents it might be good.
Quiet.
It's more quiet. They're doing stuff. They're not like kids crying and like, I want to buy this toy, I want to buy this toy. That's why these toy stores are closing down, you know. And just they have everything on their phone, on their iPad, but then it's
more like the American home life is more stressful, trying to focus on making money. So you're gone more, you know. You're just tired from work, so you can't play with the kids. You don't make enough money, so you got to struggle to find food, struggle for this for your family, and then you're just like, you know, here, just take my phone, worry about this. I'm gonna go worry about this grown shit, you know. Dude. So like,
do you think you guys will be able to handle that as parents? Like,
I just want
that face-to-face time with their kids, FaceTime.
Oh yeah,
FaceTime kids.
Yeah, it just comes down to how you want to have your kids. You know, it's like you can't say anything for any other ones because they're not your kids, but and you don't know the exact scenario. Maybe they were really good and they're like, okay, you can be on your phone, you know?
Maybe. It'd be a reward.
I doubt that's the case. I mean, like, I know for me, I would want to actually have the quality time with my kids and do stuff and be, like, present, you know? Not get lost in this thing and, like, set it up as a reward system. But that comes from, it sounds bad, like, training your kids, but, like, teaching them from a young age and showing them the other things and how you perceive fun and how if they see you always on a phone, that's what they think fun is. But if they see you like enjoying something, that's why like if you eat vegetables in front of your kid and like you don't make it like you have to eat this or you have to do this and like or you don't like doing it or something like that, where they then see it as bad, because it's like kids, like if you give them candy all the time, they're not gonna like an apple. But if you give them an apple, they know this for being like one of the sweetest things they can have. So it's just the way you raise and teach them, which is hard because it's easy to give them an iPad. It's easy to do all these things. So
you got to create that environment for them.
Yeah.
None of us have kids, by the way.
No.
I have a dog.
Damn.
Damn. What the hell?
Damn.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. I don't know if sometimes it's hard to have hope in our future just because everything's gone to shit or is going to shit.
Then
But
that's
it's
what I
like,
think about that too. But then it's like, fuck it. Then it sounds very selfish. Gotta worry about my future.
yeah, at least, you know.
But then fuck my future. What's my future without a future?
Yeah.
Of the whole world.
What's if your kids? Do you think they'll have a bright future? You know, it's kind of scary to think to raise kids in this kind of like climate.
Mask off.
Fuck you, man. Hendrix.
What?
Future, fucking. Yeah.
Just that dirty, bro.
Ridiculous.
I mean, it is, but then it's also like people are like, oh, we don't want to bring kids into this world. It's like, if you don't want kids, that's fine, but don't do it because you don't want to bring kids into this world. Like, let them be the futures and the ones that help it and all that stuff. And it's your job to teach them, right? You know. But if you have that negative attitude with life, it's how good is your life? You know, how good is everything?
The kids are the future. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like every generation. I was thinking about this the other day, but it's like the older generation looking at us like, what the fuck are we doing? But when they were kids, that's what their parents were doing, and the same, it keeps going down. Like when rock came out, they're like, this is devil music. But then now when rap's coming out, they're like, what the fuck? Like, we have rock, this is good, why you want rap? You know.
Yeah.
And it's like, and now it's like techno, and it's like,
oh yeah, what's after techno? What the fuck? Just screaming?
yeah,
we're gonna go.
Well, we got ASMR now, you know. And it's like people.
Oh
like,
my
like,
gosh, dude, this is so fucking weird.
It's always gonna be things. There's always gonna be a negative thing. So it's like you can't. And I tell people you can't like judge people for what they're doing now, because this was weird for us too, and like we had to fight for this and all these things, you know. And the best thing is, why get involved with other people's life if it doesn't affect yours? It's the same thing with like all these like crazy abortion laws or all these different things. It's like, if it doesn't affect you, like, why are you so adamant about it? Or if gay people get married or gay people do this, like, it has literally no effect on your life. So
yeah, why do people get mad at that shit?
It's just
ignorance.
No, it's one is ignorance, but I think the bigger thing is they want to have the sense of power. Or they can't control their own lives, so they have to control others.
Oh.
So it's a lot of things where they feel like a lot of people they always, people that tell you, like, people say someone wants to complain about the gym, but we're like, dude, you're telling us, dude, you're fucking a shitty person. Like, everyone's talking shit about you. Like, we know what you do behind closed doors, like all these things. But it's like, and they're telling us, dude, the church smells bad. Like, okay, we know that. We're trying to find ways to clean it. We just don't leave a shitty environment. We always clean everything. We always put everything back. But people just want to complain, and that's just innate. And it's easier to complain than take a look at yourself and be like, yo, maybe I shouldn't complain because I'm a piece of shit. You know?
Yeah.
Nobody thinks
What
that.
did Michael Jackson say? If you want to change the world. If you want to change the world.
By the way, so this is all my equipment, and I've been trying to teach CYRUS for like 4 podcasts now.
This is not
the laptop and iPad aren't.
This
but
isn't.
I'm like, yo, you gotta talk into the mic and not like this.
Change the
What
world.
did Michael Jackson say that one time?
Hey, so what did Michael Jackson say?
Wait, what are you talking about?
The man in the mirror.
Oh yeah. Where? There's a mirror right in front of us. Yeah, that's true. That's people are so scared to look at or break down what it is that they're having problems with, you know, which is like really sad. But that probably comes from like how they were raised. I don't know.
Yeah, literally just a lot of shit just from generations of just emotional abuse, neglect. People got to break that cycle. Break the wheel.
Yeah, it just comes out to like there's a lot of things that they
just disappeared.
kind of like in a few weeks ago when you watched episode 5 of Game of Thrones. This was a few weeks ago, not yesterday.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
It's like
future
Daenerys
now.
was like, oh, like her dad was crazy, so she's gonna be crazy, and it turned out to be. And a lot of people think of like, oh, my dad was abusive, so I'm abusive, or I was abusive, so I have to be abusive, or like I'm hurt, so I hurt.
Doesn't
you know, it's
have
like
to be.
you can't like you can't say anything about me because I was in an abusive relationship. That's why I'm this. And it's like, yo, you can change. You could be your own person. Everyone has trauma. Everyone has abuse and everything like that. And you can't say your situation is trumps other. And I feel like people like that nowadays.
Yeah,
where
people do that.
like they compare and do this stuff, but like just because I don't show it doesn't mean I haven't had trauma. I haven't had all these things. You know, I'm better at it, and I don't want to put that on other people, so I choose not to. You know, it's all a choice, and there's stuff that if you like, people are also, I think, afraid of help. You know,
asking for help,
going to therapy, anything like that. If you need that, go get that. If you need self-help, if you need to do a trip through the Amazon and take ayahuasca or like anything that, where it helps you, training, yoga, whatever it is, you know, or even just being reflective with yourself. People are afraid of that because they know they're the problem and it's not others, but it's easy to put the blame on others. And it comes down to pretty much everything that we talked about so far. It's where people are afraid. If you want success, don't be lazy. It's your own faults for everything. So that's what it comes down to, because it's just like you meet someone new, they never abuse anyone, they're the greatest person, but you, because you were abused, bring that into that, you know,
their energy. And
it's completely sad, because it's not your fault either that you were, you know, and it's hard to get out of those relationships when you're being abused. There's so many circumstances. For some other people it might be easy, like, hey, I don't like this, but other people, they still have a deep love for them, they're scared, there's so many other factors to it, but then they're now a person that was damaged and hurt, but they can't really, in a sense, like, if it's basically acknowledging it if you go seek help, because then you're like, okay, like, I am damaged, I am hurt, I am this, but it's harder for them, I feel like, to not only talking about in a relationship, but just like in every aspect, to be self-reflective and try to make yourself better.
Yeah. Well, at least people are trying now. I feel like people are trying now. We talked about this before, where people are actually...
I feel like if you think about like a generation before, to look for help, to talk about emotional help, is very like outlandish.
I feel like it's getting worse. I think with social media and everything, it's getting worse, because now it's kind of like you said, it's comparing and everything.
Like a trend.
So it's a trend. It's like, I see people online, they're like, nobody talked to me today because I'm depressed, right? And if you talk to me, and I'm gonna be a bitch today to you, and if I'm a bitch, excuse me, because I'm a Scorpio. So it's like, it's my son, and I swear,
fuck you, man, I'm a Scorpio.
Yeah, or it's like people always say you're a bitch, but I'm like, it's Scorpio, like I'm like,
dude, stop with the fucking Scorpio.
No, it's well, that's when I kept reading the.
I'm a Scorpio.
And then because it's funny, because I read something like I was like, I don't believe in like that horoscope bullshit. And then the person was like, "Oh, you're a Leo, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, what does that mean?
Wait, why?
Why? I'm like, "Oh, cool! Like, it really works." But
so
then,
you don't believe in any of that stuff?
There's certain things, but it's like you can pull everything. Like, if I look up what a Scorpio is, I can be like, "Oh, that's me," you know. But you attribute it because it is you, you know. And like, "Oh, I was born this month, so it does have an effect." And I'm like, okay, whatever your circumstances, that doesn't mean you're stuck to it, you know. And if it's like, okay, if this sign says that you're very aggressive, like, you know how many people I've met more people that were like, no, you're not Leo. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
You're a Leo? Fuck, my bad. I'm sorry. That was one of those moments just now.
Were you joking?
I just fucking knew it. I knew it, dude. No, I didn't know you're Leo.
Yeah, most people, they're like, you're not Leo. I'm like, no, I am. Like, dude, you don't act when I'm like, because I act the fuck like Nadeem. You know, act like yourself. Don't be like, oh, some guy on the internet wrote this down, and how the fuck do we know what the stars mean? You know, like, I
also read somewhere that like the I could be wrong, I don't know, but you know, astrology, but I mean, I believe in astrology, but they even said like we're getting the dates wrong, because every like couple, you know, 1,000 years, 100 years or whatever, like the date shifts, so I'm basically whatever. I don't know know how it works. I'd love to understand it a little bit more, but yeah, I feel like if anything, and again, I don't know anything about that, but if anything, it should act as more of just like these are the things you could be, or the things, you know, like, oh, if let's say a Scorpio person's angry because they say I'm angry or whatever, like that should be more of a reason for you not to be, because you know, it's like if you're these characteristics should be like things that you may be. You know, but like it's up to you to make the conscious decision to not let that affect
conscious
you.
enough to like change
to make that change,
to make
your
own rules.
I'm not sure how any of that works, but if anything, that should, because if Scorpio says you're angry, then I'm not gonna go around and be like, fuck it, I'm gonna be angry because the stars told me to. Like, I'm gonna be like, okay, maybe I do get angry sometimes.
No, yeah, and it's like some people are like, I saw ones because they give you like daily horoscopes. Yo, today is not gonna be your day, and then that lets them ruin their mood. Like, what the fuck is that, you know? And like today's going to be the most blessed day. Every day should be the most blessed day, you know? Whatever happens. And it's like, for me, I'm a little different where, like, especially, like, death is weird for me. I've seen a lot of, like, close friends. I had family that died and everything. And for me, it's never affected me that crazy. And, except certain times that I do miss people and everything like that. But I know death is a part of life, you know? And, like that's from, like, when people are young, that sucks, right? But then when it's like a natural death at old age, like my grandma passed away recently, and for me I was like, yeah, she was fucking 100 years old. What do we expect? But it's sad for like people, you know, and it's like they never get to see them and like stuff like that. But for me, it's just like she gave this to all of us. She instilled all these things.
There's some sort of legacy.
There's a legacy. So I refuse to. I don't know how it is when my parents pass away because they are gonna. But they're tomorrow. When they do, like, I can't really say, and like as strong as I want to be, it was definitely going to be hard. But I choose to see the blessings they gave us, the positive that we had from them.
That's what we should stick to. You know,
It's what we stick to, and like I literally like I mean it when I'm like, if I die tomorrow, like I want you guys cracking jokes, like be like, oh shit, damn, like he died.
Don't worry about that.
You know, or like if I can choose the way my funeral will be when I die of natural causes, hopefully, I will like, dude, this is gonna be a party. Like I want like
Will Ferrell will be there. Will Ferrell.
Well, he'll probably be dead before.
Oh.
He's like
if I'm dead, you guys have been dead for weeks already.
But like, dude, I want me up there like on a statue. You saw the one where the guy's like sitting in the chair with the crown?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's dope as fuck. And then people were like, yo,
start doing the crumping.
We're gonna have him like in front of his laptop.
Yeah, editing. Just like stressed, just editing. I'll definitely like when I'm getting to that age, I'll make a video like, oh, if you're watching this, like I died. Like, look behind you.
If you're watching this, I'm going to haunt you for the rest of the life.
Okay, if I live to be 80, I'm doing heroin, I'm doing coke, I'm doing everything. Like, why wouldn't you want to know if people are willing to lose their lives and like risk fucking up everything for heroin? It must be fucking amazing.
I don't know where this is
You're kind of right, bro. Honestly,
hold on.
If you ain't ride the dragon once, bro.
Huh?
If you ain't chased the dragon once.
Oh, that's the thing.
You know.
And it's like, you live till you're 80. What are you looking for?
Margaret, come here. I got some shit real quick.
Yeah, I feel like once you reach a certain age, it should be legal. I remember, I think I heard like Joe Rogan talk about that. I was like,
that would be funny.
Once you like, everything should be legal. You've done your service, and like,
I think it should be legal. Okay, hold on. Just in a perfect world, just in general, maybe a different dimension. If it was legal, it should be as long as you sign a contract that's like, I'm not gonna hurt anyone.
Yeah, that's hard to say.
I know, but like in a perfect world, as long as you don't hurt anyone.
Not a perfect world.
What do you mean? It's like a safe. It's like
that's the thing. You can't. Well, it hurts the people around you. It does a lot of stuff. But that's what I'm saying. If you're willing to risk that and knowing the consequences, it's not known. Like someone's not gonna be like, dude, heroin's dope. You'll be perfectly fine. It's like, dude, if you do this, you're gonna fuck up your life. And you see the people like, look at me. I'm giving it to you, but like, you see how I am. Like,
oh yeah, it's like some don't willingly risk it though. Sometimes, you know.
Yeah, of course. But I'm saying in terms of like the people that like they're fucking bored out of their
mind. Live like a straight edge life for like 20 years and it's like, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna go do it.
Oh, they're at a party like they're doing, oh, you're a pussy if you don't do that. Like
that's willingly. That's willingly.
Like so
who's will? Willingly.
Nah,
but honestly, that's kind of true. Like after some age, bro, I'm like, you know what, dude, I'm already like 75. Fuck it, you know, where's the fucking Pookie? Yeah, you know, where's the fucking blow?
Yeah. And imagine that, like my grandkids or my friends, like, yo, how do you do? He's like, dude, this guy did like fucking lines of coke and like,
you know how he died? His first time doing coke.
I'm pretty sure at that age of like 75, like, let me just virtual like reality FaceTime you guys or some shit real quick. Like, you know, so it's just like,
yeah, dude. Okay, like, say, okay. You could die at
smoked.
You die at 85 by having like the best psychedelic trip and like psychedelics won't kill you, but like heroin and
90 degrees. If you're 90 years
old. Heroin and all this stuff, and you have the crazy experience, but your heart can't handle it.
Yeah.
Or you live to 90 and just in pain the whole time.
I'm still kind of in pain now.
I think you'll be in more pain if you're you know, on heroin and cracked out and on psychedelics and you're 90,
dude.
That's probably a more
humane way to go.
Yeah, well, because at that point you're so decrepit, you can't move, so you're not gonna jump off a building.
You know what's funny? We have that member at the gym that we were there the other day.
Man, that's fucked up, bro.
And then basically he walked in and he was like, "Oh, I'm in my 40s," and we're like, we look at each other and we're like, "What the fuck? He's in his 40s?" Like he looked like he was 70. Remember?
Yeah.
I was like, yesterday, I think. Yeah. And then I'm like, dude, I know 40 people that like 40-year-olds that look like me. Like people think I'm 40 sometimes, you know. Yeah. And I was like, dude, like,
do you think
to see that some people it's just genetics and stuff like that. But
do you think he did like drugs when he was?
You never know.
Because that shit fucks you up. Like in terms of you get even older. Imagine doing drugs when you're 90. You just You just look like a vase.
You're a fucking dick. You just.
I'm sorry. That was me. That was me.
Just look like an urn in front of a sanctuary.
Yeah.
What a weird. Okay, I think that's good though. Not the whole like doing drugs when you're older.
Doing drugs maybe when you're younger.
Yeah, fuck it, dude. Or maybe the best time is as babies.
Yeah. Okay, but look. All right, so like when Arya Stark had sex.
Thank you for watching.
had sex with Gendry.
Yeah.
Because she knew they could have died. All right. What if the option wasn't sex?
Spoiler.
It was actually heroin.
She's like, oh fuck, I'm gonna get eaten by a dragon. I'm just gonna shove a molly in my asshole. Just like, that's what you meant, right?
I'm just saying, would you guys have taken an opportunity basically, yeah. Say if we find out right now, 20 minutes, a fucking asteroid's gonna come destroy us. There's no way we can reach our families, and we had drugs, heroin.
I don't know if I would do that. I think I would call my family and my girlfriend.
I don't think I'd want to be doped up in that.
All right, but say like the asteroid's coming.
That's actually true. No, that's right.
Say the asteroid's coming. Like, you're on a mountain. There's no service. You had a hella drugs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You'd feel like you're on a bigger mountain.
I feel like you are
a lot of service. Yeah.
You actually survive,
dude. You take the drugs and you be like,
that sucked, but you survive. And
hurry.
Oh, this
like,
is fucking sick.
You're surviving, then you're just an addict for the rest of your life after an apocalypse.
Depends on what. Depends on what.
Oh no.
Yeah, if it was apocalypse, I don't going around and like I'd rather be an addict on an apocalypse.
All right, so say if you had a full bag of C4, powder.
Like pre-workout.
You just want to see how it feels, just to take all of it.
the pre-workout. C4.
Yeah,
You'd be so itchy.
if you just like,
You'd be
your
fine.
skin would fall off, dude. I think
You'd be fine.
you'd turn into a dumbbell.
what part would be itchy?
I actually gotta
Your whole body.
head out and do some work.
All right,
Whatever,
yeah,
dude.
we'll
It's fucking
catch up with you
bullshit, dude.
So then we're gonna carry on this conversation now.
Yeah.
Or it's been an hour.
Oh yeah. I guess the takeaway is don't do drugs unless you're like 90. Follow your dreams, right? What else? Social media, use it as a tool. Love yourself. Really important. No, I'm not even kidding. What else did you think? The good takeaway from this?
Maybe we should be able to do drugs when we're like past 90.
I just said that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's good.
Thanks for having me on at my house with my equipment.
Hey man, anytime, bro. Just call us over and we'll come over and do it
Later, dude.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Are we going to end it? Or?
Yeah.
No, dude, we gotta go.
Tune in to the next episode of Game of Thrones. Just kidding. Later.
Bye.